This trending design style right here is super easy to create with Kittl. It's very popular right now on both Amazon and Etsy. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to create designs like this. But before we jump into Kittl, let me show you a few of these listings, both on Etsy and on Amazon. That way you can see that there's demand and you also get a bit of inspiration of the different layouts, fonts that are being used, and the kinds of phrases that feature in these designs. So I've typed in retro animal shirt right here on Etsy, no filters applied, just generally scrolling for a few examples. The first one that shows up is this one right here. My flabbers have been gasted. So as you can see, just one color, very simple, old school illustration, and yeah, not really a very special layout either. This is getting about 50 sales a month and it's only 5 months old, this listing, which is a good sign. If you've got Everbee installed, the Chrome extension, you also get these additional statistics down here, as well as you can click on the Everbee symbol and it will show you some extra stats. For example, this has already got 2,000 favorites after 5 months. That's another good sign or indicator of people really liking this style and resonating with it. Then we've got Hellcat right here on the right hand side, 99 monthly sales, 7 months old listing. That's another one of that kind of style. Then we've got these cats right here floating in space. That's kind of the same style. It doesn't have a phrase, but definitely that single color retro illustration. I've started to notice more and more of those as well, whereas collections of those illustrations in one design without a phrase necessarily. Then we've got this one right here, cat loaf, freshly baked just for you. It is what it is, and it's not great with a raccoon. Definitely a lot of these do feature raccoons as well, I've noticed. There's another one, just a different color. Sorry I'm late, I was dilly-dallying. Spoken about that design before. Support your local street cats. There we go again. We've got raccoons right here in many of these designs. One that I found earlier actually is this one right here with the bestseller badge, getting about 150 sales a month right now, 5 months old listing. So again, very, very young, and it's in 20 plus baskets. So it's got all the signs. Again, group of raccoons right here. And this listing has had 1,000 favorites in that short time of space. So these are a few examples from Etsy. Here's a few examples from Amazon. I found these with flying research very quickly and just saved them right here to my favorites. These are all very, very recently posted listings, like fairly new over the past month or two. This one is a good example. Rach Consumes Me with kind of a cute kitten holding flowers, 172 kbsr, really good. Then we've also got some of these kind of social club designs right here, pink pony club. These often come with that kind of retro illustration, single color style. Pizza is my Valentine on the right with a cat. So as you can see, this can also work for different holidays. It doesn't have to be just animal evergreen types of designs. You can also do this for holidays. You can apply this style to all sorts of niches, trends, and occasions, because it just seems to work across lots and lots of different topics right now. Primarily, you see it with animals, but it's not limited to that, as you can see right here by the motorboat captain design as well. And just so you get a quick glance at one of these listings on the Amazon front end. So this one with a cat right here says 100 plus times bought in the past month, and it was posted just December 19th. So it managed to get this good of a ranking and regular sales pretty much in the worst season for Foody, which is throughout January. So yeah, just one example of many with this style that are doing really well. So now let's jump into Kittl, and the first thing I'm going to do right here is click on new project. Then I'll go to the print on demand presets and choose the merge by Amazon T-shirt template right here. If you're designing for something else, you've got a bunch of other handy presets as well. Then I'll click on create and it will open up a blank canvas. Now I've saved a few font suggestions right here for you. So I've tested out these fonts and they seem to work really well with this style. It's very nice ones that are built into Kittl, and you can find them in the typeface section down here. So if you wanted to try this one, Capra Simo is what it's called. You just open up the typefaces, type that in, and then it will pop up right here. So these are a bunch of cool fonts, but the first step I would actually take if you're creating one of these designs is heading over to Kittl AI image generator and then typing in a prompt for the graphic for the animal. So for example, if you wanted to create something for a raccoon, let's go ahead and type in a prompt right here for a moody looking raccoon full body. And for the styles, for this type of design, I go to the vector styles and choose vintage drawing, because that straight away gives us a vector. It's one color and it also has has that vintage style straight away applied to it without having to do much prompt writing. Then I'll just click on generate image right here and wait for a few seconds. And there we go. That's actually a pretty good result considering it was first try. It doesn't always work out that way. In some cases, you will have to regenerate or adjust the prompt if it doesn't turn out exactly how you want it to. For example, what I did is I put full body right here because I know if I leave that out, it will often give me just the face, and I want it to be the entire animal right here. But yeah, in this case, turned out great. And the best thing is you don't even have to remove the background. Whichever background color the artboard is right here, it will shine through because this is a single color, just a black vector. The best thing about that as well is you can quickly, easily just change the color right here. If you have it selected, you go to illustration colors right here, and then you have the eyedropper tool or the document colors. So I could make this the same green as our text over here very, very quickly. Now, speaking of text, let's add something to this. So I'm going to place this more in the center right here, and then we'll add a phrase. And I want to use Caprasimo for this example because I think these kind of serif fonts with a round edge, so kind of like more friendly, fun looking, are some of the best ones to use for this style. One phrase that I saw recently that I wanted to test out is if moody. That goes along the top, and then the bottom, I'm going to hit duplicate right here and then just paste this down while holding down shift to keep it in line. If moody, give me Foody. This is too much for the single line, so we need to drag out this box like so, and now it's too big, so a bit of resizing is sometimes needed to get this right. And I mean, technically this is already good enough. If you look at some of the examples, they are fairly simple in terms of the layout in most cases. Now you can obviously go a step further, and for example, Kittl has the transformation effects over here, which can be really handy. So if you click on the plus symbol whilst having one of these text layers selected right here, it will give you angle, which actually looks really nice for this design. You can give both of these an angle actually. There we go, a little bit more dynamic. Also, you could use, if we go back to this one, you could use circle. That's always going to be good for the top piece of text, except in this case, it's not ideal because our raccoon right here is kind of cutting off the text with its ear, and I don't want it to be too far down or too tiny in the middle like this. Kind of works, but yeah, not a big fan of it. So actually, I think if we go back a few steps, this might be, or something along these lines might be best for this. You can also obviously play around with some of the text layouts. So let me actually pull this to this side, duplicate it over. Let's, for example, say that we just put give me right here, and then we drag this down and then put Foody in kind of bigger words like this. Give me Foody. I think that also looks pretty neat. There we go. To move this around a little bit. Whoops, I need to copy that. There we go. That's actually quite nice. Let's actually try a different color because I'm not sure if this green is too good for, like, perfect for the raccoon. And this is another benefit of having this in vector format. If we click on the actual artboard now, we can go to the selection colors and just change all of the green right here to another color very quickly. Like, I think this kind of teal actually looks a lot nicer if you compare the two side by side. This is really, really nice looking for the raccoon, I think. And now very quickly, we've got one of these designs finished. You just need to make sure everything is aligned to center right here, and then you're good to go essentially. And you can click on export, choose whichever artboards you want to actually save or export here, remove background, optimize quality, and then go ahead and save it. Make sure it's PNG. Besides that, obviously you can carry on designing. You could duplicate. By the way, what I'm doing right here is I'm clicking on the artboard, the text, holding down Alt on my keyboard, and then clicking and dragging. That's going to take the entire design and just copy it over. And then we could change out the graphic. You could try out a different graphic, delete this, go back to Kittl AI, mess around with the prompt right here, come up with something else, maybe something with food in it, right? Maybe a raccoon eating a pizza, eating a burger, eating some tacos, whatever it may be. You could change the text. So if you like this graphic, but you want to try a different phrase, like support your local street cats is one that we saw earlier on Etsy. That's one that you could place into here. You could try out a totally different animal, different niche, and just change these things over. You could swap out the font. So let me just select all of the words and test out different font, like Mingu West is another nice one. I think this is a bit too close together. So I'm going to select all of the text, go into the letter spacing and just change this to maybe 50. Yeah, there we go. That's another decent option right here, I think. Also, this is a bit more condensed, so we could actually put this onto one line more easily. There we go. Let's test this out in maybe a red right here, something along those lines. And very quickly, as you can see, we're keeping on creating these designs, different versions of it, different colors. And I'm just kind of exploring right now. You probably don't want to have the exact same design with the same phrase and just like 80 different colors. You also want to try different phrases, animals, etc. But it's just to show you how easy it is in Kittl to rearrange these things. Let me just try another quick thing right here with Kittl AI. We'll change the graphic up to a raccoon in space wearing an astronaut helmet, full body. Maybe we'll do stars in the background. Once again, vintage drawing style selected, generate image, and let's give it a few secs. By the way, I do have a free trial for both Kittl and Everbee in the description down below, so you can test them out before you actually commit to paying anything. And there we are, we got a result. I'm not 100% happy with this one, but it's going to make it easy to have the text in a circle above, like arched along the top, so we'll use it anyway. Quick tip, if you keep regenerating, or if you don't want to keep regenerating and using up credits, you can also scroll down right here and it shows you more in this style. And typically you will either get the same animal, the same kind of graphical style, like we've got some single color ones right here, and there's a bunch of stuff to do with space as well. So we'll pick out some keywords from your prompt and give you alternative options that you can also use. Actually, this one, for example, whilst it's not a vector, we could turn this into one right here. I could see this working with some sort of coffee related phrase as well. So you will quickly find some like new ideas, new inspiration right here on the left if you're getting stuck. And you can also find out what they used for their prompt. So if you like this graphic, you click on the information symbol and then it says a vintage pilot sloth wearing aviator sunglasses. It shows you the style used too, and you can copy the prompt here easily. You can click use prompt, will take you straight away to that, or you can just, you know, add the graphic and use it as is. These ones right here are in the public library for everyone to use, but that's besides the point. Just a quick tip on, you know, saving credits or finding inspiration. If we wanted to go ahead and use this now, again, it's already a vector. Now we can change the color right here easily to something else. Let's actually do washed out blue right here. I'm going to change this to the circle layout, and then we can say Houston I have, that is way too big, so let's change the font to be 500. I think might be a little bit better. Houston I have, let's change that to the same washed out blue right here, and maybe also try out a different font for this. Where have the suggestions gone? There they are. Maybe Adventure 3 for this one, or Sunny Drop. I think Sunny Drop actually looks nicer. Let's make the font size a little bit bigger for this. Houston I have, and then at the bottom, so many problems. Changes to Sunny Drop as well, and just the color is missing now. So right, I'm quite happy with that. Let's just resize it a little bit to fill out the actual print area right here. Make sure everything is aligned to the actual artboard right here. And there we go. I think that's also made for a pretty interesting design and good looking layout right there, even though I wasn't 100% happy with the graphic initially. Yeah, there we go. Now you've got a bunch of examples of how to quickly create these designs with Kittl, different text layouts to use, different colors, and also don't forget, you can always find more graphics, similar graphics and inspiration, either in the Kittl AI tab or with the Kittl Copilot. And so whilst I've got this raccoon selected, I can click on the Kittl Copilot up here and it will show me other options of raccoons that I can also just easily replace like this. There we go. If you wanted this one, this is not a vector, so just be aware of that. You'd have to vectorize it. Let's do that actually as an example, just one color, see if that works. So if you have to remove the background first, nope, that's fine. So there we go, change that to red. If moody, give me Foody. There we go, you can quickly replace things as well. So yeah, I hope this helped you out. If you've got any questions or any suggestions of how to improve this workflow, any other fonts that you may have found that work well with this style, feel free to leave those in the comments down below. By the way, Kittl sent me this really cool sweater right here. The back print on it looks very, very nice. And they also sent this hat to go along with it and also a tote bag. So I just wanted to quickly thank the Kittl team for that. If you want to make the most out of your Kittl account, you definitely need to understand the recent changes and updates that they've made to the interface and some of the new features that they've added. And if you want to get a complete overview of those, make sure to watch this video next.